Hello friends, today in this tutorial we will be building a CRUD kind of an application inside Next.js, and for the database we will be using the MongoDB database. So let me show you the application of what we will be building in this tutorial. So if you just go to localhost 3000, so basically this is my application, guys. You can see it's a blog post kind of an application. Here you can perform 4 operations. You can create a new blog post, you can add a new blog post. There is a simple form out there which lets you add a, you just need to give it a title and the content. So let's suppose I give, this is a blog post, this is the content of blog post, and there is a add post button. So if I click it, this message appears that post added successfully. So if you go to the home section, you will now see this is your blog post which is added here. And there is also the date as well, guys. You can see 9/14/2022, 9/14 September 2022, and there is two buttons out there, a delete button. So if you click the delete button, your blog post will be deleted. So this is a delete operation, and also the update operation. All these records, you can see if I refresh it, one record is present here, which is the title. This is a blog post. Content, this is a content of blog post. So there is a third property is called as published. So the initial value of this published property is false. So basically we can change this property from false to true. So basically there is a publish button out there. So if I click this button, you can see my blog post is published here. So if I now refresh it, the MongoDB database, you can see it changes this property from false to true. So we can also perform the update operations as well. So there is again a delete button. So if I click delete here, so there will be no blog post. So if I refresh it, nothing is present here. So we are also implementing the routing functionality as well. So if you see here, if you reload the application here, so there is links out there. This is a home page, this is the add post page. So this is also the routing functionality is also pre-built inside Next.js. So Next.js, if you see here, it's a advanced framework for React. So basically it's a open source web development framework created by Vercel company, enabling React based web applications with server side rendering, and it is also used to generate static websites as well. So it's a very fast framework. I think it is better than React.js in terms of many things such as routing and also speed as well. So definitely we will be looking at how to develop this CRUD application inside this framework inside MongoDB. So it is really fast on server side. So if you see here how fast it is, so basically if you want to add something here, click add post. So if post is added, if you click delete, so as compared to React, guys, it is fast in terms of speed and efficiency. You see two blog posts have been added. This is a date, this is a content, this is a title, this is two buttons out there, publish and also this delete button. So all these records are handled inside our MongoDB database. You can also use MongoDB from an online URL, or also you can download MongoDB. I'm using the desktop edition here, so basically just type MongoDB community edition. So I'm using this software MongoDB community server. So simply go to this link here and simply you need to download this inside your own computer machine. So this is for the Windows here. You simply click the download button. So if you're watching it for the very first time, guys, then please hit the like button, subscribe the channel. So I have given all the source code of this application in the live chat, so you can go to this blog post. I have written this blog post step by step. All the instructions are given here, so you can copy paste all the source code. So let's start building this CRUD kind of an application in Next.js, guys, with MongoDB database. So it will be a complete tutorial. You will be able to learn Next.js from scratch. So this is my project which is running, guys. So now we will create a new project. So basically I will create a new directory, Next CRUD. I will cd into this. And now to create a new Next.js project, guys, there is a command out there, npx create dash next dash app, create next app, and then followed by the project name. So in this case, create next CRUD. So if you hit this command here, it will create a brand new Next.js application. So for this, React is required as the dependency, so it is just installing it. So it will hardly take 5 to 6 seconds, guys. It is better than and fast than React.js, as I already told you. So many people use it. It's a very trending technology, trending framework. So it's better than React. So now you can see that it has created this. So we just need to cd into Next CRUD, and then we can open this inside Visual Studio Code text editor. So this is our brand new Next.js application. You can see the structures, guys. So basically we have this index page, guys. Here you can see this is the page which will be shown inside when we run this application. Let me run this application. So npm run dev, npm run dev. So it will start this application. So it has started this application on localhost 3001. So this is the official website of Next.js. So localhost 3001. So this is your brand new application, guys. Welcome to Next.js. Getting started by editing pages / index.js. So if you go to your directory, guys, as I already told you. So this is your pages directory and this is the home page. So if you make any sort of modification here, let's suppose I delete everything here from it. I don't need this head section. Let me delete all this and refresh it. You will see everything will be gone. So this is a file, guys. So if you write here hello world, so now it will be shown here hello world. So this is the index page, guys, that I'm talking about. And basically all the style sheet that you write for this page, which is the home page here. Typically it is called as the home page, and all the styles that you want to see, it is there inside a separate folder which is called as styles. So inside this we have a file called as home.module.css. so here you can change the body background color as well. So if I type here body background color to red, so if you make this adjustment, guys, your body background color will be changed. So it is saying that selector body is not pure. Pure selectors must contain at least one local class or ID. Okay. So we need to select it by the only the classes. We can't select elements. So we need to give it some IDs. So this is a styling, guys, which is there for the home page. So this is, I think you are understanding the concept of Next.js. So this is the global styles here, which is a global.css. And first of all, guys, now we need to first of all connect to our MongoDB database. So this is the MongoDB database. So first of all, you can disconnect it. So MongoDB database, guys, you can see this is a URL for MongoDB, MongoDB://localhost 27017. So this is the URL that you need to see, and click on connect. And here you will need to create a new database. So click on create database, and here you will see that Next CRUD. This is my database name, and inside the collection, the table name, I will give it as post. And then click on create database. So your database will be created, guys, which is Next CRUD. So now we need to create a env file, guys, environment file. So right here you will create this environment file, guys. So right here in the root directory you will create this. So you will just say .env. So inside this .env file, guys, you need to create the connection to the MongoDB database. So right here inside this you will just write here MongoDB URI, and this is equal to the full address that I talked about, MongoDB. This will be same for all the machines, guys, because MongoDB runs on this port number. This is a default port number if you haven't changed it. Then we have the database name which you have configured. I have created this database which is Next CRUD, and this is a development URL, guys, which we are running on HTTP localhost 3001. And then if you want to deploy this, you will have the production URL, so you can just do this. So this is your environment file, guys. So This is a very good practice by which you store your sensitive information inside the environment file. So this is a best practice. After this, guys, you need to create a lib folder here inside the root directory, and then you will just make a file which is mongodb.js. So here you will write the code for connection code to MongoDB database. So right here, guys, we will write the connection code. It's very easy. We will first of all need to install the MongoDB library. So what we will need to do is that, if you see here inside this, so we need to say npm i mongodb. So this is the actual library which is needs to be installed. So install this npm i mongodb. So after installation, just start your npm run dev next.js app. So here we will simply say import, and we need to import the Mongo client from this MongoDB library. After this, we will say MongoDB URI, and basically here we will say process.env.mongodb URL. So this is the environment variables that we are using, guys. You can see MongoDB URI. So if you're watching it for the very first time, guys, then please hit the like button, subscribe the channel as well. And similarly, we will have this next variable for MongoDB database DB. This will also be coming process.env.db name. So you can see we have set this DB name variable. So here, first of all, guys, we will check for the connection. Here we will say if MongoDB URI is invalid, in that case you will put a not sign here. Simply we will throw a new error like this, that's invalid MongoDB URI, and then we will check for the database. So in this case we can throw a new error, that invalid database. And now, guys, we will create this variable which is catch client, which will be null, and also we will be creating a database variable as well, cached database, which will also be null. So here we will export a new function, guys, which will be a async function. So this will be the connection to the database. So we will export this function so that we can use this in other files. So this is the connection here. So here we will say if cached client and also cached database exist, then basically we will return the client, which will be equal to the catch client, and also the database, which will be equal to cached database. So basically it is used for catching purposes. If you have made the connection once, let's suppose you have called this function once, so you need not have to connect it multiple times. So we will be retrieving it from these variables which we have stored right now. So if you're watching it for the very first time, guys, please hit the like button, subscribe the channel as well. So yeah, please hit the like button, subscribe the channel. So after this, guys, now we will make the actual connection. So first of all, for making the connection, we need to set the connection options. So we will make a new object here. Inside this we will say use new URL parser. This is set to true, and use unified topology to true. These are the two options which are required for MongoDB database. So now we need to make the connection. So we will say let client is equal to new Mongo client, and here we will pass the Mongo URI and the options like this. So after setting up the client, guys, we need to simply call this function, simple function, which is client.connect. That's it. So this will connect the MongoDB database using this URI that we have, MongoDB localhost 27017. So after this we will after this connection you will get access to the database. So we will say client.database, and here you just need to pass the database name here, so MongoDB. And then guys, we will set it as a catch here, like this. We will make the catch client to be equal to our client and our catch database to be equal to DB. So this is the advantage. So once we have made the connection, we will store these inside these two variables, the client and the database. So after this, we will compare it inside the if condition, and we will simply return these two variables. So every time we don't need to call this function, which is client.connect. So this will save a lot of memory, this will save a lot of execution time, and that's it. Lastly, we just need to return this. So simply we'll say return client equal to cached client and the database equal to cached database. That's it. So this is all that we need to do guys inside this file. So we are exporting this function which is connect to database. So now we need to move to our pages folder guys. So inside this we have this home page. So inside this, first of all, what we need to do is that we need to inside our we need to delete all this. So we have a div here. So inside this div guys, we will have a head component, and inside this you will have a title which is Next.js CRUD app in MongoDB. So this is the title. After this we will have the navigation component guys. So this is the navigation component. So first of all, we need to create this components folder. So right here, just create a components folder in the root directory here. Inside this we will create nav.js. So this is the component we need to create. So simply we'll say export default function nav. So here inside this component guys, we will have a simple navigation bar which will be there for the routing purposes. So navigation. So here we will be giving a class to it of styles.nav, and inside this navigation bar guys, we will have a simple unordered list, and we need to give it a class name. So all these styles will be coming from the style sheet guys, so we will later on add this. So here we will have the li tag. This also has styles.item. So this will be containing this link tag guys. This will be imported from next-link. Link is basically an anchor tag. Basically it is used for routing purposes. So here we will have href attribute, so it will go to the home page. So here inside this link tab you will define your anchor tag. So this will be home page. So the next one is we will have the next li tag. Inside the same we will again have a link tag. So this will go to the /add post. So inside this we will have an anchor element. This will say add post, like this. So this completes our navigation bar guys, you can now see. So simply if you now refresh your application, what you will find now, it has compiled it. Let me go to localhost 3001. So nothing is showing here. You can see head is not defined. So we need to, if you go to index.js, so we need to have the head portion which is next/head. You also need to give the title as well. So if you see, nothing will be shown here. We need to include this component which is navigation bar. So it will be imported from component/nav. So simply embed this component. So now if you see, styles is not defined. So basically just go to your styles folder of your Next.js project, guys. So just create a new file here, which will be navigation.module.css. So this will hold all the styles which are needed for this navigation bar. So here simply we need to paste it, the styles here. All the source code I have given. So I will not write the CSS, guys, for in this tutorial. So I will just simply need to copy paste it, the CSS. So this is a navigation bar styling. So simply paste it. So here we will, inside navigation bar, we will import this. So if you're watching it for the very first time, guys, please hit the like button, subscribe the channel. So these styles will be coming from import styles from styles folder, and then this is a file which is navigation module.css. So if you refresh it, guys, now you will see our navigation bar is ready here. You can now see home and add post. If you go to add post, you will see a error here, 404, this page could not be found. We need to create this page, guys. If you go to the home page, so now we need to create this page, guys, which is add post, which will obviously, if you see here inside my blog post, I have given this source code. So if you see inside the, and also, guys, you need to update this code inside your home.module.css file. So just go to home.module.css and simply remove this and paste this code. That's it. If you refresh it, if you clearly see here, this is now, you need to go to the pages folder, guys, inside your Next.js project. And basically here you need to create a new page which is called as add post.js. So basically this will be a brand new page, which is, we need to create this page. So right here, so basically inside this page here we will have a simple form. So just put RFC, and this will be export default add post. So right here, guys, we need to inside this add post page, if you just refresh it now, obviously this will work here. If you click this add post, it will go to this page. It is saying that 404 not defined. So for this, what we need to do is that inside your navigation, if you see add post, this is a page here which is showing here. So we have this made inside the pages directory. You will see that. So we have put this navigation bar. So first of all, let me make this index.js. Post.length. So basically guys, inside this home page we will be getting the properties. Basically we will be getting this post object passed to it, and basically after this navigation bar we will have a main element here, and basically here we will check that if the post is empty or having something inside it. So if the post is empty, in this case we will show a message that there are no posts. So now to check it, we will use the ternary operator that you have used in the past. So inside curly brackets you will say post.length. So if the length is 0, so in this case we will put a question mark colon, so like this. So here inside this we can simply say inside h2 no added post, like this. So if you now reload your page guys, you will now see it is saying cannot read properties of undefined. So obviously you need to pass it as a parameter. So obviously if you write this, you need to write a function here at the very bottom of the screen here. Export async function. This will be async function, and basically this will be get server side props. So as you all know, props is called as properties which are actually passed to components, React.js components. So we are passing this property which is props here. So we need to get these server side props here. So here we will simply say, first of all, you can see we get all these variables from the env file that we have declared here, environment file. So process.env.node.env. So here we are just checking it if we are building for production or not. So we have defined these production URL and dev URL, you can see here. So we are just getting it from here. So after this we just need to make a fetch request here, and so basically let me show you what is happening here. So inside Next.js application guys, whenever you make any sort of request, this request is made through the API folder. You can see inside the pages folder you have this API folder, and this is, if you go to, you can rename this to post.js. So this is your API folder, and here you will return your all the post. So simply we are checking, we are making a simple get request to it. So after this data will be in JSON. So now to convert this data, we will simply say let data await response.json. This will convert this to JSON. So then we can return this data to our component, home component, as a property. So we can simply say props, this will be an object of post, which will be coming data slash message. That's it. So basically this function will convert the data which will be coming from this API post section here to a actual property called as post, and here we are passing it inside our home component and then checking the length here. So here guys, inside our API folder, actual post here. So when we load the page, we need to show the post here. If you reload the page here, it is again saying that error serializing post. So let's suppose we inside our index.js, uh, let's suppose we simply write like this post, and refresh it. So basically this will be a array of objects, so that's why we are comparing it. If the length is 0, then we will show. And now inside post.js, guys, we will write all the methods which are responsible for this. So let me show you one method here. So first of all, we need to import here the connect to database method that we have written. So this method is coming from this file, which is the lib method and MongoDB. So you will see we have written this method here inside. We are exporting this method here, which is connect to database. So now we are including it inside our this method here. Also, we will need this object ID. We need to require it MongoDB, and inside this we have this object ID. So export default function, handler function, guys. Inside this function we will write all the methods in order to add a post, delete a post, update a post, and render all the post from MongoDB database. So basically this is an API. So as you all know, Next.js is both contain the server and the front end side code. This is the advantage of Next.js. So here basically this is our backend code that we will write in the inside this file. So up till now, guys, if you have any sort of question, you can ask in the comment section. So please hit the like button, guys. I am seeing people are not liking the content. Please hit the like button, subscribe the channel as well if you're watching it for the very first time. So here, guys, we will write our different methods. So here we can first of all use a switch statement here, and inside this we can request dot method. Here we can first of all say, in case of a get request, so here we will simply return a function which will be called get post request response. So here we can write this function, guys, which is get post. Basically this function will return all the posts which are present inside this MongoDB database or table. So here we can simply write this function, which is get post. This will be a async function, as you all know. Async function which is get post, and this request response will be passed to it. And here, guys, we will write all the code inside try catch block. So if any sort of error take place, we can display that error. So here we can simply say we need to first of all get the database. So we will call this method connect to database. It will return the database to us, and then we can simply say let post await db, and here we will say the collection. So collection simply means the table. So table we have created, guys, you can see, which is called as post. So simply we'll say post. Inside this table, what we need to do, we need to find all the records which are available, all the objects like this, and then we will simply say we need to sort published -1. So we need to sort the records, or you can simply find all the records. And in order to convert this to an array, we will call this method toArray. That's it. So basically it converts all the records to an array of objects. So this is the methods which are required. So lastly, we need to return this as a JSON object. So we can simply say return response dot JSON, and inside this we will simply say the message which is returned to us, which is JSON dot parse. We will convert it. We will parse the JSON. It will convert the JSON string to, you see, JSON string to a JSON. So here we will simply again call inside this JSON dot stringify, and then we will convert these posts here, like you pass this post, that's it. And also the second parameter we will be saying success to true, that's it. In case of any error is there, guys, we will return the error message inside the JSON. So success will be false. So basically, guys, inside this table we can if you want to add some data to it, let's suppose I want to insert some data, we can insert a data here. Let's suppose title will be, this is the first title, and the content property, this is the content, like this. So if you click insert, so basically this is a method required for displaying all the blog posts once you load the page for the very first time. And here, guys, we have the second method, which is add post. So now we will go to the page here, which is, we have created this page here, which is called as add post. So here we will have a simple form here. Basically this form will be, if I go to my application, and so now you can simply see no added post is there. If you click add post, again it is saying no page is defined. Let me see what is happening. So go to index.js and write here. So if you see here, I think we have a mistake here. So this needs to be add dash post here. That's the problem. So whatever page you have defined here, you can now see we have defined like this, add dash post.js. So this, the URL needs to be the same here, add dash post. So now if you make this adjustment, so now this is working here. And inside index.js, so this, sorry, this curly bracket needs to be here. Uh, so here you can simply display the post. So simply you will see no added post is there. If you click the add post button, it will go to this route, which is add dash post. So here you need to create a simple form, guys. Basically, let me create this form. Very simple form will be there. So first of all, go to add post.js, and here you need to first of all import the navigation component, which will be there. So now if you refresh this page, your navigation component will be there like this. So the next thing you need to do is that you will have to have a class name, which will be coming from styles object dot container. So again you need to import this styles array at the very top. Import styles from styles, which is home.module.css. So right here guys, you will have now a form element. So we would be giving a class name to it of styles.form. So right here, what we need to do is that inside this we will have a div element, and basically the class name will be styles.form item, and inside this we will show a input field. Input type will be of text, name will be of title, and value will be like this, and placeholder title. So after this guys, we will have another div, same class will be given to it, styles.forms item. So this will be for the title of the blog post, so simply give it a label. And this will be for the content. And here this will be a text area guys, text area widget. Name will be content and value will be nothing, and placeholder we will simply say post content. So now if you refresh it, you will now see a form here which will be title post content, and after this we will have a simple button here to submit the post and insert it into a database. So here we will have a simple button which will say add post. So here we will give it a class name of styles.form item. Button type will be submit. So now you can see we have this button. So our form is ready guys. So simply we need to now hook up the form here. Basically whenever we write something here, we need to insert these information which is title and the content to our MongoDB database. So for this we need to declare some variables here, hooks variable right here at the very top. So this will be first of all setting the title comma set title. We will say use state, import this, so this will be empty. Similarly for the content, set content, and for the error message guys, which is error, set error, and for the message, this will be for success message. Whenever the data is inserted successfully, we will show some message to the user. So here guys, first of all what we will do is that inside this form here, whenever the form submits, we need to attach a event handler to it. So there is called as on submit. So here we will define a function which is handle post. So here we need to make this function which is handle post. This will be an arrow function. So this will hold a event parameter guys, which is first of all we will say e.prevent default to prevent the auto submission of the form. And again this will be a async function, so simply make it async. And we will set the error to nothing here, and also the set message to also nothing. And here we will first of all compare the title, guys. If the title or if the content, any of the fields are not written, basically in that case we will set the error that all fields are required. So now to show this message, we will simply go to our form element where we are rendering it. Just after this, we will show this error right here at the very top. So you will simply check inside this curly brackets if the error exists. In that case, we need to simply show the message here like this. We will show this inside a h3 tag here, which is simply, we will show like this error. And also we will be giving a class name to it. So this class name will be styles.error. And also this parent div will also have a class which is called as styles.formItem. That's it. Basically, if no error is there, in that case we will simply show null. That's it. So if you now refresh it, guys, what will happen now? If you go to the page here, if you don't write anything, click on add post, you will see that all fields are required. You can see that it is validation is also there. So these colors you can change it. Go to the styles folder, simply style this. So we have put this color to red here. You can also change it to yellow color as well. So if you now click, it will be yellow. Typically for error showing we need red color, so that's why we have put red. Success message we have put this green color. So very basic styling is there. So after showing this error message, guys, so when the fields are entered properly, let's suppose if uh, I cannot write inside this field, guys, so now we need to fix this. So now to fix this, it's very easy. We need to attach a on change to these input fields. So also the value will be changing to the content, guys. We have set the content. You will see content and title. So title, and also whenever the value changes, guys, inside this, so on change, we need to write on change here. So basically this will function will execute right here inside it. So we will say set title to e.target.value. That's it. So if you see, now you will be able to write inside this title field, but you can't write inside the content field. So we need to do the same thing right here inside it. So on change, so set content e.target.value. So now you will also need to write like this. So now this is working, guys. So when we click this button here or add post, I need to simply insert the data inside MongoDB database. So for this we can simply write this inside handle post function. So when all the fields are entered properly, we will simply make an object first of all holding this data, which is title to title, content to content. You can also write like this shortcut form here, which is title, content, And the third property which we need to insert, guys, which is the date published property, which will be by default it will be false. And then there is a created at property as well. So whenever the blog post is created, so we will put a new date here, and this we will convert this to ISO string like this. Now we need to save this post, guys, so we will simply make a request here, which is a fetch request to the backend. So we will simply say /API/post, and then we will pass this object. So the method here will be simply post, and we will put the body, convert this to JSON stringify post. And then after making this request, guys, we will simply get the data. So we will await this and response.json. So this will be, the response will be coming in the JSON here. So we will convert this to JSON. So here we will simply compare it if data dot success. So if the data has a success property, in that case we can simply set the title to, we need to reset the values as well. So set content, and then we will simply return the message, which is data.message. You can see we have put this message here, which is we will pass this data. In the else case, we will simply say return set error data.message. So this message property, guys, we are returning it from this API client here. If you see here, if you clearly notice here, we are sending this property. In case of if we have successfully inserted data, this message will be the actual data and success will be true. So now we need to create this method, guys, which is actually will be required to insert data inside the MongoDB. So now this is completed here. So right here, go to your this folder, which is API post.js. So we will make a new method here, which is new case, which is the post method, and this will be, in this case we will return a function which will be called as add post. So simply you need to and here you will pass request response. That's it. So now we need to define this function here. Just create some space here. This will be inserting data to MongoDB. So this will be async function add post, and this will be request response. So now inside this function, guys, we will write this code. So first of all, we will wrap all this code inside try catch. So first of all, we will get the reference to the database. So db, we will await the connect. We will call this method. After getting the database, we can simply call db.collection, and the table name in this case is post. So here we will call this method, which is insert one. So basically it's for insert a one document here. You can also call like this, which is so here we need to first of all convert this to JSON. So we can simply, the data which is coming here, request.body, we need to convert to JSON. So we will simply wrap it JSON.parse. So after doing this, after making this request, we need to return the data as a JSON. So we'll simply say return a response, a JSON response, and here the message will be simply post added successfully. And the second parameter will be success. And basically, if any sort of error take place, in this case we will return the error, which is return. In this case the message will be new error. Error dot message. Success will be false. So now we have written this method, guys, which will actually add the post here. Now basically, if you see, if you go to the add post page here, so right here we need to show this success message. If I write this post, you will currently see there is nothing present inside this table. It is currently empty. So now if I write this, the title, this is the first title, this is the content. Click on this button. So now you can see all the title and content is deleted even now from these fields. And if I check, refresh it, now you will see our database has contained this one record. This is the first title, this is the content. If you insert another record, click add post, now it will contain two records. So now we are performing successfully this adding operation. We are successfully creating the records inside the table. Now we also need to show the message that post added successfully. For showing this message, it's very simple here. And right here, you will copy this, paste it. So here you will simply replace here message. So here you will say success and replace here message. That's it. Just format this. Now if you see, post added successfully. Why this green color is not appearing? Let me see. Styles dot success. Oh sorry, this class is message. So if you refresh it, guys, post added successfully. So you can now see inside our table, post is successfully inserted alongside with this message. So if you don't write anything, all fields are required. So you can see that. So now we need to display all these posts, guys. If you go to the home page, basically objects are not valid as React child. So now if you go to the home page, we need to show these posts. So for showing it, it's very easy. Go to your home page, which is index.js. So right here, basically we will use the map operator. So let me show you how it is done. So inside this div section, guys, we will put a class here, sorry. So we'll be giving a class name, which will be styles.container. So inside div is this div, we will be displaying the post. Curly bracket array name, we will first of all check it for the, sorry, here what we are doing. We have already made the comparison, so unordered list here we will use it. And here post dot map operator we will use, and for each post we have the index. So right here inside this we will have the component where we make this component, and basically we will pass this array. We will pass the actual post as a property, and also we will pass the key parameter which will be equal to index. Sorry, that's it. So right here inside the components folder, guys, just create a brand new component which is postcard.js. So just make this. So here we will show our actual post, guys. So we will get this property, guys, inside this prop here. We will simply pass the object post. So now we simply need to, we can simply paste it post.title. If you show it now, so it is saying that postcard is not defined, so we need to include this. So now you can see it is imported. If you refresh it, now you can see this is the first title. This is all the titles will be shown here of the blog post. Similarly, we can even show the content as well. So right here, this is a title. Content will be like this: post.content, published, which will be post.published, and date. This is post.created at. So all these four details we will publish, guys. So you can see this is title, title, title. This is the date which is showing here, guys. You can see that published. If you see the property here inside published. So now we need to show it, guys. So how to show it in a nice manner? We can simply so inside this we will have a list element. We will show h3, and here we will show the post title. Inside paragraph we will show the post content, and inside the small tag we will show the new date. We will convert this to a date, which is post.created at to local string. So basically we will call this method which is to local date string. So basically it will convert it to a full date. Then we will have a break tag. If you refresh it now, so now you can see this is the first title, this is the content, this is a date. You can see that. So two operations are done, guys. Now we are actually displaying the blog post. We are also adding a new one. You can see that. Now the delete and the update operations are remaining. So if you're watching it for the very first time guys, then please hit the like button, subscribe the channel as well. So here we will have two buttons out there. So here we will first of all compare it. If the post is not published, because by default the published value will be false, so here we will be comparing it. If the post is not published, then we will have a button to simply show that publish. If the post is published, then we will not show this button. So all these blog posts now guys, we will have a publish button. You will now see there is a publish button, because if you check the database, there is a property called as publish which is false. So here we are checking this property. So if this property is false, in that case we will show this publish button. So this button will be of type button, and also we will have a next button guys, which will be for delete, if you want to delete the blog post. So there will be two buttons, publish, delete. So now we will first of all do the delete operation, which is very much easy. So we just need to bind a on click to it. So when we click this delete button, what will happen? So on click, so this callback function will execute, and here we will call this method, which is delete post. So here we will first of all pass the post ID. So now to pass the post ID, we will simply say post underscore single quotes ID. That's it. So we are passing the unique primary key of the table, which is ID, which is unique. So we need to now make this method guys inside our backend, which is present inside our post here. So here we need to make this. So we will write a new case here, which is this time will be a delete request. So here we will return a function which is delete post request response. So you can see the pattern guys, it is how easy it is in comparison to React.js application. So we will write this method guys, which is very simple, which is for deleting the post. So again this will be a async function, which is delete post. So here we will have the request response. Again we will wrap it inside try catch. So here guys, first of all we will get the reference to the database. So await connect to database. After getting the database, we can simply target the collection, which is post, the table, and here we will call this method guys delete one, and here we will pass the ID, which record you need to delete. So we will pass this ID, object ID, which is request.body. That's it. After deleting it, we also need to send a message to the front end, which is response.json. Here we can simply say message that post deleted successfully, and success we will simply say true. In case of any sort of error, we can simply say new error, message success will be false. That's it. So now if you click the delete button guys, hopefully this will delete this blog post. It is saying delete post is not defined, so we need to import this method guys inside our component, which is postcard, so we can simply say delete post. So if you go to the component, we need to obviously we need to create this method, guys. So yeah, we need to create this method. So right here at the very top, we need to create this. So const, which is delete post, and here we can, this is a async function. Here we will pass the post ID, and here first of all we'll make a, again try catch. So here you make a simple fetch request, guys, which is to this slash API slash post, and this time this will be a delete method. So this will be delete. Here we will pass the body, which is the post ID. That's it. And after this, after deleting it, we will reload the page so that it is deleted. So we'll say return router. So I think this router needs to be imported. So you need to import these use router. Use router from next router. So simply you need to call this, which is make this reference here, which is const router use router. That's it. So with the help of this router object, guys, we can reload the page. Router, there is a method out there which is push, and here we can say router dot as path. That's it. This will simply reload the page. That's it. If any sort of error take place, we will prevent the reloading of the page by set publishing to set, sorry, this is for publish post. Let me just see, guys, if it is working or not. If I click the delete button, you can now see the delete button is working perfectly. Our blog post have deleted, so no added post. If you check the database as well, if you refresh it, nothing will be present. So no records are present inside the table or connection. So if I go to add post, add a new record, post added, click delete, you can now see. So now the only operation are remaining, guys, which is the update operation. We will make this property which is published from false to true. If I click the publish, we need to publish this blog post and make this property from false to true. You can see it is currently it is false, so we need to make it true. Up till now, guys, if you have any sort of problem, you can ask in the comment section. So I am seeing that people are not liking the content. So here, guys, we will have this publish button here. So again, we need to wrap a on click to it. So when we click this button, we need to now call this method, which is publish post, and here we will pass the post ID, which is similar to this. That's it, publish post. So here we are passing the post ID. Or you can also pass like this, post.id. So now we will make this method, guys, which is very simple. This will be a async function, so post ID. So again we will wrap all this code inside try catch. So simply here we will make a fetch request, guys. So /API/post. This time the method will be put is called as update. Body is post ID, that's it. Now we will move to some error is there, let me see. It is error. Sorry, this needs to be a comma. So right here we will make this method, guys, a case here, which will be, this time this will be put. So here we'll be returning this method, which is publish post request response. So here we will make this method async so now inside this method you can also call this update post. It totally depends upon you how you need to call this. So basically here we will just change that published property from false to true. So again the same process. We will get the reference to the database, await connection to database. After this we will simply call db.collection, which is post table name, and here this is a method update 1. This will update this record which has a ID called as the past ID, which is new object ID, and request.body, that's it. So what property we need to set? Put a comma, and the second parameter will be an object. So we need to set this property, which is an object. We need to make the published to true from false to true. If you have multiple properties, if you also want to change the title, you will put that modified title value. If you also want to change the content, you will say like this. So in this case we only want to change the published property, so that's why we have put here published to true. So that's all, guys, we need to say here. And again, if you want to return a message, you can simply say response.json. So please hit the like button, subscribe the channel, and here we will put the message post updated successfully, and then we have the success message to true. In case of any error has taken place, we can simply say message is equal to new error message, and success here will be false. So hopefully, guys, now this operation will still work if you refresh it. If I click publish, so let me see. Let me check the database first of all. If I refresh it now, so now you can see the published value has changed from false to true, but we need to disable this button. So what we can do is that just go to your so after this, go to this component, and basically whenever we are doing this, After this, we just need to call set publishing method. We need to create a hook method which is publishing. It will basically toggle the visibility of the publishing and button. So set publishing initial value will be use state, sorry, will be false by default. So here we just need to change it. Not here. Yeah, here. After we update this, so we can simply say set publishing to false. And if any sort of error take place, you can simply say set publishing to false. And here inside this, basically we will check it. So whenever we are displaying it, we can simply say here so inside the label we can put this condition here. If publishing is true, then we will show this. If publishing is not true, then we will not show it. So if you refresh it now, you can now see that button will not display because it is already published. So if you add a new blog post, so now that button will display. If you click publish once again, so now you can see it will not display. So this is a CRUD application, guys, we have made inside Next.js. So I have given all the source code in the live stream, in the live chat. Now we can have a question answer session. If you have any sort of problem, you can ask it in the comment section. Please hit the like button as well. Only 10 likes are there, so just increase the like section to 20 likes. If you are watching it for the very first time, please hit the like button as well.